Hey everybody, Model Man here, and I am ready for decals. Just up here, I've got all the instruction sets. I've been reading them over, looking for numbers on the decal sheets, kind of getting a feel of where the layout is and where everything goes. The Aztec decals are the white circles. The upper decals, symbols and things like that are in black. Easy enough. They did mislabel the warp nacelle bottom and top, but that's easy enough to determine just by looking at it. Even though this one says bottom, obviously that's the top and that's the bottom. No troubles there. And trying to figure out how to attack the entire thing, what I've decided to do is go from the nacelles because they're detachable to begin with. So it's easy to practice on just one of them, or do both at the same time, we'll see. And then I would work probably on the bottom of the ship and then finish off the top while it's sitting on the stand. We'll see how that goes. I think I'm pretty much ready to start. I'm definitely not looking forward to this, but I'm sure it'll go easier than it really looks right here. And that one, wow. Alright. And so with that, here's the layout essentially. It's not a very big table, so I gotta condense a lot. Got the decal sheets up there, and even then I'm probably going to push them further out of the way just so they don't get any accidental spills or splashes. Got a bunch of ripped up paper towels here all ready to go. Q-tips always on standby. The instructions will be in front of me along with at least these parts for now. Then over here I've got this plastic lid. May as well fill this with water right now. I figure this should probably be good enough for just about any size decal that will be in here. There we go. And good old solve set. A lot of people do recommend Microsol and both of theirs. It's a two-part solution. You put one down first and then the other second. This essentially does the same thing. And of course I've got my cutting mat here and a relatively clean, relatively new X-Acto blade. So having looked it over, most if not all of the nacelle decals are sitting right down here. I think I'm ready to go. Just a question of which side do I do first, bottom or top? How about we go for the bottoms? Alright, so one thing that just occurs to me is that I'm going to need to keep really good track of what decals are going where and whether I missed any, and it's actually going to be a bit of a management issue here, it looks like. So got my Sharpie. I'm going to label everything that I got here, 120, 119, and I think this should probably get me through. Alright, so I've got my decals laid out essentially in order the way I want to take them, all the way out to this pile of them here. I'm definitely off to a difficult start here. Time to stop messing around with that and let it do its thing. So I don't know why the camera decided to shut down. The battery looks fine, but in the meantime I finished off this entire bottom, and it was definitely not easy. I'm applying a few lessons from that to this. It's going a little easier so far, but these decals, being almost 4 years old now, are definitely starting to show their age already. So it turns out it was a dead and dying battery after all. So I finished off the bottom of the second nacelle, and I touched an air bubble on this stripe right there, and it burst, and now I got a hole in there. But being white, that should be a relatively easy fix. So I learned a few things about these decals, and one is that they are a real pain in the ass. This is 2010, so that's going on 4 years old now, 3.5 to 4 years old, and they're brittle, they rip easy, and I found that, such as the instance with that red one there in the middle, once it goes down, you really can't pick it back up. I had a devil of a time even trying to pick up first layer Aztec decals in a few cases. Some cases it worked out fine, In every case, I had put down a ton of Solvaset initially. It wouldn't make too much of a difference if I used water, but you know, I'll do that in an upcoming piece. And while the first nacelle probably took me, whichever one the first was, probably took me 40 to 60 minutes. The second one definitely probably took about half that time. Yeah, so this is the first one because it has the messed up red, and this is the better one because it doesn't. However, getting a balance on that white decal behind it, number 25 I think, 125. Yeah, 125 maybe. That's definitely a tricky little thing to do. And getting this decal centered, getting the side decals to line up with that line and the line back there, that was tough. I definitely ripped a couple decals, like here. You can definitely see how much of the blue is missing right there. I think it just folded over on itself because I never saw it anywhere else. But being on the underside of a nacelle, that shouldn't be too bad. This is in fact the starboard nacelle. So this one, and there's another one that got ripped. Are those yellow ones with the black really the ones that are supposed to go there? Seems strange. Anyhow. So while it took all that time to put the decals on, it's now been maybe an hour, probably 40 minutes since I last worked on this one, it would have been. And they are definitely still tender. So rather than flipping them over and doing the tops, I'm going to put them aside and let them sit for several hours. And hopefully I won't lose these decals in the process. So what that means is I'm going to bring this over to the bench, and we're going to start on probably the top side back fantail, or maybe even the neck, and then do all of the back side there. Actually, I should just start with the bottom.